What's up? We're live. Like that Gamecock shirt representing tonight, don't you?
All day.
All day. She's a Gamecock. I'm wearing my blue zip-up hoodie. It's what I like to wear in my videos. Hadn't shaved this week. Got to get on that. How you doing, Beth?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
She's tired. It's 9 o'clock. How to live a life-giving life. It's a virtual hangout, something we've been doing kind of has sparked a whole nother set of interest for me and for Beth, I think, to take this virtual thing and kind of go to a new place with some virtual stuff. Don't you think?
Yeah, marriage group. A marriage group.
Not really a marriage group, but we're going to start a marriage academy. How's that sound?
Is that what you want to call it?
No, I don't know. We'll probably call it like Finish the Marriage Academy, Finish the Marriage.
I don't know. Any ideas? Help us out.
Yeah, we're starting something.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook at Finish the Marriage. That's where we're starting, but we're going to be putting free video content out about how to help people finish the marriage. That's the idea. But tonight, it's how to live a life-giving life, and we're going to talk about the word honor. Honor. Let me ask you this, though, before we get started. How many of you have ever been honored? Like really been honored? Or maybe I would ask you this. How many of you have ever honored someone? I've been honored before. I was asked one time to do the prayer at a really good friend of mine's retirement ceremony, and that was like an honor for me. And before I got up there, they honored me and they celebrated who I was in the relationship, and so that was kind of an honor.
Yeah.
You ever been honored?
Yeah, like in my career with the government, several times I was honored with
with money. She got honored with money. Money,
like
money,
bonuses.
money. You better be careful. We talk a lot about money. Just kidding. This is us. We say we're going to save it.
Yeah, but with
you were honored with a 10-year pen. You completed 10
years.
years, but you got a pen at 10. Remember?
Yeah, and I got a pen at 12.
Oh, you did. 12 years for Department of Defense employment. That's pretty neat. Yeah. And you were honored. You know, another time I was just thinking that you were honored was when you gave birth to Jacob. You were honored. And they gave you this really nice package of food to come home with from the hospital. Remember?
Yeah.
I was honored. It was honored. Wasn't it an honor? They didn't owe you that. They honored you with it. They thought you're a new mother. We want to honor you. And here's the deal. I believe, when you look at me like that, it looks like you're rolling your eyes.
No.
She's like,
I'm trying to look at the camera, but look at you at the same time.
I believe that if you're going to live a life-giving life, you have to understand honor and have honor.
So when you think of honor, what is honor to you? Like I guess a synonym.
A synonym is like a one-word synonym.
It can be. I mean, what is honor to you? Like, what does it mean? Because I think that's a good place to start, because a lot of people may not even know what honor means.
I think honor is gratitude. I think it's appreciation. I think it's highlight, to highlight what you are grateful for and what you appreciate for. It's more than one word, but appreciation and gratitude. Interesting you would ask, do you have a word?
Yeah, mine is probably respect. I think that
is. That's a good one. Like respect would be a good one. I put it up on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Let me read this definition to you. Honor is from the Latin word. It's from a word that comes from Latin, from honor, is an abstract concept entailing a perceived quality, I love this word, of worthiness and respectability that affects both the social standing and the self-evaluation of an individual or corporate body, such as family, school, regiment, or nation. So it's not seen. Honor's not seen. It's abstract. it's an abstract concept entailing a perceived quality of worthiness. I like the word worthiness quite a bit.
Too,
yeah, worthiness is pretty good when it comes to honor.
I like it too. So I guess the next thing we'll move right along. Like, who should we honor? You know, I mean, you hear like a lot about honoring the veterans, and
we should honor veterans.
Yeah, we should. But I mean, but it doesn't just stop there. I mean, but you hear about that, but you don't hear about like honoring, like in this generation, or I guess not our generation, but like Reagan's generation, who was 10, and even the generation after that, like the teenagers now, the 20-somethings now. I'm not bashing the 20-somethings now, but it's like they lost that culture of honor, like the whole honor your mother and father. You know, they've lost that sense of honor your teachers. They don't honor their teachers as much, and I don't know if it's just not being taught in the homes or if it's not being taught in the churches.
It's not just the 20-somethings. It is.
I mean, it's
larger in the 20s. But it's very prevalent in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, it is. But it's gotten like it's getting worse and worse and worse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you know, like. So
who should we honor? Veterans.
Yeah, we should. Well, let me read the scripture. Okay, it is Romans 12:10. And it says, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean.
Everyone.
Yeah, you honor everyone.
You should honor everyone, but I think you should honor, like, there are some specific people, don't you think?
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, you know, like, and we do that in different ways. Like Reagan's already thinking about how he's going to honor his teacher on the last day of school. Like, he's going to get her something, a small gift, to show her honor.
Yeah.
We do something called Science Olympiad, and it's where we go to this big event, and we do all these different science projects, and then they choose a winner based off of the results. And there's one teacher that puts the whole thing together. And at the end of that, Reagan is going to honor her. And last year, Reagan was the only student that honored her, that even said thank you to her. And she's not paid for it. She volunteers.
It's all volunteer. So, according to the definition that I read a moment ago, those that don't do anything to honor them are pretty much, without saying it or showing it, they're telling that person what they think, they perceive her worthiness to be. Her worth is zero. When you don't honor someone, you're saying their worth is zero. Or when you dishonor someone, you're saying their worth is even less than zero. When you honor someone, you're saying, I'm grateful for you, and your worth is based on how you honor them.
Yeah.
I think this too, I was just thinking about this, preparing for this tonight. Somebody that we should honor, it doesn't fit like it's the person talking. Like whether you're in a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, I've got some of that.
Do you have some of that written down? Okay, yeah. I think the person, like I noticed like nowadays that somebody will be talking. I sit in Starbucks quite regularly and watch people and study and drink coffee. But I watch people. They'll be in a conversation and they'll be on their iPad or their iPhone while they're talking to somebody. And then I've seen in other times where there's multiple people involved and one person is talking and then two other people will start like chit-chatting among it. As a pastor, I see it, and I just have learned to self-talk and self-tell myself by self-talking that they're talking about something that I've said. And I don't believe that's always true. I believe some people are just dishonoring me and dishonoring the other people in the room. But I think that...
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of times I think that people just don't know better.
They just don't know. No one's ever taught them to honor or who to honor.
Right, and that's the reason that we're trying to teach you guys tonight, maybe you already know this, maybe this is a reminder. As we're talking through this, I have been reminded that at the end of baseball season, we're just starting baseball season, but at the end of baseball season, I need to remind myself to honor those coaches that are out there. And,
for no money, they're out there just investing in our kids. Yeah. So anybody that you perceive worth should be honored. So we could almost go a step further and say, if you don't perceive worth from the person, then don't be in a conversation with them.
Right.
And if you don't want to be at a church, then don't be there listening if you don't honor the speaker. If you don't want to be in a lecture, don't be there. I know that Reagan, I remember we went to orientation at a little school deal, and the lady was talking, and it was kind of mundane stuff, but it's important stuff. It was about his middle school and how it's going to go down, and he wanted to talk and tell me, like, I'm ready to get out of here. And we left at the next break, but we didn't allow him to communicate with us until we left the room. He can tell me how he feels about all that she was saying, and he doesn't have to agree with it or like it, but he's not going to dishonor her while she was talking.
Right.
It's just dishonoring. So I think that's a neat thing. And I think this is something too. Let me go the other way and say, it feels good to be honored, right? I'm a veteran, and on Veterans Day, I'm honored. I'm still in the military. When I go down and do my time, now it's become my time. It's not really like prison time, but when I go down and do my reserve time that I'm required to do, a lot of times I leave really, really early in the morning so I don't have to stay another night away from my family. And I stop at Starbucks, and every time I stop at Starbucks, I need Starbucks. In my uniform, I never pay for my coffee. I've never paid for Starbucks coffee in uniform. Never. No one has ever bought it for me, but the waiter, the servant, the barista has always given it to me every time. Now, you can't go to a military base and do that, but here in Durham, there's not a military base, and that's awesome. It feels good.
Yeah, and just last week I was in Target and I was buying 1,000 Easter eggs for our Easter egg hunt coming up.
Put feet on it.
Yeah, this Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday. Awesome. And I mean, there was a man and a woman that was working at Target, and I found them, and I was like, there was only 3 packs of these eggs, and I need 21 packs of them. And they were like, well, they're all out. If they're not out, then you're out of luck pretty much.
Right.
And through conversation, the guy found out that my husband was a pastor, and he called me. He said, "Oh, you're a first lady," and I said,
"First lady, the first lady of Revolve Church."
I said, and so maybe, but and once he found out that I was a pastor's wife, he was like, "I'm gonna go find those eggs for you." And they went back there and they dug through boxes and boxes of Easter eggs or of Easter stuff, and they found the eggs and they brought them out to me.
It's honor.
Yeah, I mean, I had to wait like 20 minutes, but he was like, "No, we're gonna find those." And then while we were waiting, he wanted a little counseling, but that was all right too.
That feels good though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels good. Think about a time right now that you were honored, and how good it feels to be honored. To know that now that you know the definition, it should mean a little bit more. To know that somebody, in an abstract way, is trying to show you that how much they perceive your worth. Mm-hmm. I just kind of want to say something. I think we're going to go into some ways that you can show honor. Just recently, I have overseers that oversee the church, and they're really good friends of mine. They're pastors, and recently I was just thinking about how good they had been to me. There was no occasion, Pastor Appreciation Month or Day is sometime in October, but this was just the last couple months, and I got them a really nice gift. I got each of them a really nice gift. It's the same gift. It was an ink pen, but it was hand carved, hand engraved, and but there was no occasion. It wasn't a birthday. It wasn't anything like that. It was just I wanted to honor them and say, this is an abstract. You can't really see it. Well, you can see the gift, but you can't see the honor. And I'm saying that you're worth a lot to me. And I actually gave Chris his while he was here last weekend. And to me, it just not only does it feel good to be honored, it feels good to have people that you
want to honor.
That you want to honor.
And as you can see, Saturday we're going to honor Jacob's 3rd birthday.
That's
so
right.
That's
See,
the reason.
all the airplanes up there.
Airplanes and
there they are. They're everywhere, and the wall's decorated.
Yeah, so that's what you see hanging.
Real life people here didn't know that we're more than pastors and first ladies.
First lady.
Whatever you call it, but.
So, and someone that we have not talked about honoring here is honoring God. We have to honor God. And I'm going to read a scripture real quick, and then we'll get into ways that how we can show honor. But 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17 through 19, it says, respect everyone and love the family of believers. Fear God and respect the king. You who are slaves must submit to your masters with all respect. Do what they tell you, and not only if they are kind and reasonable, but even if they are cruel.
That's a good word.
For God is pleased when you are conscious of his will and you patiently endure unjust treatment.
That's a good word. And it's very important that we honor God, the creator of us, of everything.
And it says, even when they're not reasonable. So that means like when your boss, even when they're not reasonable, you still have to show them honor. It's just one of those things, it stinks sometimes, but even our president,
Oh gosh,
it's like,
nothing stirs me worse than seeing somebody dishonor the president.
It's like you don't have to agree with them.
Right.
You don't dishonor him.
Get over it. He's not a Muslim. He's not an Islamic terrorist. And even if he were, we've elected him and he's the president of our country.
Well, and look, he didn't he didn't make a choice to get those gray hairs because he wants to ruin our country.
Right. And even if he did, I was talking about this earlier, and it's when you're in somebody's house, you honor that person. And if you don't like them and you can't honor them, then you get out of their house. Yeah. And right now, whether we like to view it this way or not, this is his house. He's the leader of the house when it comes to America. And we've got to do nothing more than honor. We cannot fall short of honoring the president.
Yeah, it makes our country look stupid.
Yeah, and it makes you look stupid if you dishonor the president. Sorry, but it just makes you. You don't have to disagree. And one of the best ways to disagree about the president really is to vote, shut your door, and tell yourself how you feel. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, because the person in the mirror is going to do the most about the way you feel. No one else is really going to do anything. He's not going to read your Facebook post and change his policy. So
but I didn't go into this, but there were several scriptures about dishonoring your pastor. About honoring your pastor and I think Timothy.
And the whole honor thing is it's. I think you deserve it from the people that you lead if you're watching this, and pastors deserve it from the people they lead. It's easier. Let me say this about honor. When I'm honored by someone, I'm quicker to lead them. I'm quicker to give them help. I'm quicker to lean into them. I don't love them anymore or love the others any less. I'm just not going to lean in as fast to someone who fails to honor me. And I ask our leaders at our church to do the same thing. I'm like, you find those that honor you, because most of the time the people that will honor you are the teachable people.
Yeah.
And that's what leaders are called, to help people that want to be taught.
And, I guess like our leaders are our elders to a degree. Like they would be like
in a form. If you're
in the biblical sense.
Well,
would you say?
No, because there's no biblical sense of church structure. There's you should have elders, and we have what we call informal elders and staff elders, but the role of them it's a little different. Okay. But our leaders are, if you come from a traditional church background, or you're involved in tradition, maybe you're in one right now watching this. Our leaders are leaders that lead our ushers. We have a team of people that do ushers duties. We have a team of people that does hospitality, host duty, like they serve coffee and greet. We have a preschool team, and over each of those teams, we have a worship team, a production team. Each team has a leader. You may not be familiar with that. It may be foreign to you if you're watching this and you're not part of our church or one like ours. And those leaders would be like elders, and they deserve honor.
They do.
They're leaders. They've stepped up and said, I want to be more than serving on Sunday. I want to lead people.
Yeah. And it's hard. I mean, they still work normal jobs and serve, at a large capacity.
And I expect a lot of
I
have high expectations for leaders. They're required and expected to be at meetings throughout the week during, it's tough.
And I'm going to read one more scripture and then I'll be done reading.
A lot of Bible tonight.
It's out of 1 Timothy 5:17. It says, elders who do their work well should be respected and paid well, especially those who work hard at both preaching and teaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So honor your leaders, man.
Honor your leaders.
If you got a kid in Sunday school or in preschool or kids especially, man, nursery, that kind of thing, honor them.
Yeah.
Changing them no dirty diapers so you might not even be listening to the preaching. You might just be sitting there relaxing, which is fine.
Yeah.
If you're at our church, we want that.
Take them a chocolate candy bar. It'll make their day.
Hey, Sherry, I hope you're watching this.
It'll make their day, but just
honor them
because, a lot of times they serve both services.
Let me get off of the church for a minute. Let me just do that because this is not all about our church. But if you're a working parent and you have daycare, honor them.
Yeah.
Take them. They're with just your little snot running, booger eating, pooping, and throwing up kid 8 hours a day. Honor them by taking them.
Look, we try to take real good care of them.
Oh yeah, man.
Because they'll take good care of your kids.
But honor them, and you should honor them. Yeah. You should be glad that somebody wants to watch your kids so you can work. Do that. If you have school teachers, honor them. If you have ball coaches, honor them.
Yeah. I think Mother's Day last year Jacob was in, was it last year or the year before? Yeah, Jacob and Braden were both in daycare. We took a necklace to those teachers.
Yeah,
And Miss Shirley still wears her necklace.
Yeah.
She shows it to me.
That's right.
A lot of days. It just meant a lot to her. Yeah, honor them.
Good, you should.
Okay, so ways that you can show honor. Break out my paper here. Speak politely. Let's see.
You want to say that one again?
Speak politely.
Speak nice. Be nice to
nice.
people. Speak politely. Yeah.
Compliment the achievement of others.
There's nothing more refreshing, not even just for the person you're complimenting, but the person giving the compliment.
Yeah. Be sincere.
Yeah, if you don't mean it, don't say it.
Yeah. How about this one? Do what you say you'll do.
I like that. And to go back into the church circle for a minute, if you tell someone you're going to pray for them, would you pray for them? Like, I find myself sometimes saying, I'll pray for you. And then I'll just look at them and say, let's do that right now. Because the truth is, if I don't, I'm not going to.
Especially on a Sunday.
Yeah, don't do that on Sunday. It's hard.
Offer to help. Offer your assistance.
Oh, yeah. Try to help somebody.
Try to help them. Yeah. Respect the ability of others.
Yeah, that's good. Some people may not be as gifted as you are at something, but if they're trying, you should honor that and have respect for that. That at least they're trying. Hey, and some people may be better than you at something.
Yeah.
And respect that, honor that, and be okay with it. I know there's people that do lots of things better than me.
Me too.
I mean, there's probably only one thing that I can do better than anybody in the entire world. Do you know what it is? Do anybody there know what it is?
There ain't no telling what you want from me.
Sleep. Like, I think I can sleep better than anybody.
Oh,
yeah. So,
okay.
what's other ways?
You said already, but be a good listener.
Please listen to the people talking to you.
Respect other people's opinions.
Even if it's different, right?
Respect it.
So I don't know when, and this is just something for you to think about. When did it become an argument if we disagree about something?
That was the next thing. Respectfully disagree.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
But when does it become? Like, it becomes this all-out war-bound argument, right? If we disagree, like, even in our life, in our marriage.
Yeah, but think about, like, when you and your daddy disagree.
Oh, it's horrible.
Or me and my brothers.
But, like, when you and I disagree, it's like this massive argument.
It's not massive.
Not massive, but it's a big deal. And I don't think it should be. I think you should be able to disagree, especially with those you're the closest to. But do it with honor. Honor their opinion. Now, I realize that some of you have children, and children disagree just because they're children. And that's what they were created to do.
Today. Gosh.
But sometimes people really disagree with the way you view life, the way you might view Christianity, the way you view church, the way you view others. And they may disagree with that. And they may have a whole separate view on that. And instead of disrespecting them and dishonoring them, if you would honor them, you might, it's very possible that you'll find out why they feel that way. And there's always a reason.
Yeah. Don't judge people. Don't be quick to judge people. I know a lot of times we like to judge people by the way they're dressed or
color of their skin.
Yeah, or the way that their hair.
Or the job they have, or the kind of kids they've raised, or stuff they put on Facebook. Yeah. We are judgers. We're bad judgers.
Yeah, don't judge people. That's dishonoring. Here's a good one. Decide to like them.
Yeah.
Like just go ahead and decide.
Make a decision going into the deal.
Yeah, before you even know I'm going to like this person.
Yeah, that's good. That's a hard one, but that's a way to honor people, is just make a decision. If you have a person that you have a difficult time honoring, you should just sit down, like, kind of right before you're going to be in front of them. Pray for you.
Yeah, pray for them.
Say, God, I want to like them. I'm going to decide right now to like that person. Right.
Yeah. And the last one, worry about your own backyard. Mind your business.
That's funny that you wrote that, because here's how I kind of wanted to end the whole honor deal tonight. We talked about how to live a life-giving life. We have to honor. We need to understand honor. And just because I want to read this definition one more time, honor is an abstract concept entailing a perceived quality of worthiness and respectability that affects the social standing, self-evaluation of an individual, corporate body, such as a family, a school, regiment, or a nation. So this is an abstract concept entailing the perceived, what you perceive the worthiness. And Beth said it this way: worry about your own backyard. I want to say this, that the level in which you honor others will never exceed the level in which you honor yourself. You have to honor yourself first. Yeah. And that starts by perceiving yourself as worthy. You are of great value. You are worth a lot to God. You're worth so much to God that He gave you His only Son. You were created by God in His image. He didn't need any of us. Like, the world was a lot freer of problems prior to us, but He chose to create us. And when we honor God, we talked about this earlier, that's the first step in honoring ourselves. And you'll never honor anyone until you truly honor yourself. Yeah. And even if you make mistakes and maybe your life's not exactly on both tracks of the railroad right now, it's okay. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to have problems. It's okay to be in chaos right now. One of the first steps you need to take, the next step you need to take, is saying, you know what, I'm worth something. I think you should honor yourself. And there's certain ways. We're going to close with this. Beth talked about several ways that we can show honor to other people, but a core value at our church is love God and love people. And we get it from a scripture where Jesus is talking with some guys that are trying to trick Him, and they say, what's the greatest commandment? There's 613 commandments, and you got to pick the greatest. And He says, love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind. That's the first and greatest commandment. And the second is equal to the first, which is love your neighbor as yourself. And as yourself gets left out so much. So I want to tell you this: to honor yourself, I want you to take some time for yourself. I want you to take 20 or 30 minutes and isolate yourself from all the distractions in the world, email, text messages, Facebook. And if you're watching this tonight, I want you to know something, that this is not something that we're doing right now in our church, but something we're about to do is I'm about to really be asking people in our church to bring their Bibles and a journal and a notebook, because I want to help people move from reading their Bible on this, and I think this is a great tool. I use my phone. Here's the problem with it. If you truly want to honor yourself, you need to read the Word. You need to read God's Word where you are in a distraction-free environment. And I just don't believe any of you are going to turn off your text message notifications, turn off your email, turn off your Facebook on your tablet. There are times I think you can do it. But I want you to honor yourself by isolating yourself and allowing no one other than God to be with you, the Creator. Nothing like spending time with the Creator. And I'll close with this story. Tonight, I was sitting here on the computer at the table, and I was working and doing some stuff, and I kept feeling this little tug at my leg, and then I looked over, and it was Ella, and then I ignored her, okay, just for a minute. God never ignores us. But then a couple of minutes later, Ella had brought a small chair from the other room. Beth hates it when she brings all these toys in here. But she brought that chair, and she stood on that chair, and that chair made it her high enough that she could get on that chair and fall into my arms. And she wanted to spend time with her Creator. She wanted to spend time with her daddy. And I'm not really her Creator, but I'm her father. But, I mean, I created her with you, right? Does that make sense? You didn't like that? Well, here's what I want you to know. God wants you to spend time with Him. He wants you to climb up out of the distractions of the world. And the distractions for little baby Ella tonight was two brothers fighting, one brother stomping off mad about the world. And she just wanted to sit in her daddy's lap. So go sit in your dad's lap. Read the Bible. Get in His presence. And honor yourself so that you can honor others. Because if you want to live a life-giving life, you got to have some honor. You got to see yourself as worthy, and you got to see others as worthy, and begin to show them that. Right?
Right.
Got anything to add?
That's it.
Awesome, man. Thanks. Tonight's been awesome. How to live a life-giving life. We'll be back next week. Am I in town next week? Or do we have a game at 6:30? That's Tuesday. It's April the 1st.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, we'll be here next week.
We'll be here.
I have Urban Ministries. If you'd like to join me and serve at Urban Ministries, I'll be there about 4:30.
Next Wednesday?
The 1st, yeah.
And I'll be, we need help here, because I'll be doing something too.
Yeah, we got it planned out.
Awesome. Y'all have a great night. Live a life-giving life. Show someone some honor today. Share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is you use, email, or tell somebody about it. Can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye. Good night.